Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. What if I told you the fate of a continent is quietly being shaped, not in Washington, not in Moscow, but in Istanbul? Yes, Istanbul. The city that has seen empires rise and fall, crusaders clash with sultans, and prophets speak from ancient hills. Today it's playing host to a new kind of battle, a war without guns, but with far more devastating consequences. Recently, this magnificent city became the unlikely stage for one of the most intricate diplomatic chess matches of our time. It was subtle, understated, but absolutely explosive in what it revealed. It wasn't about treaties, it wasn't even about peace, it was about time. Now, before we dive deeper, if you're someone who's fascinated by geopolitics, world power dynamics, or the hidden narratives behind the headlines, hit that like button. It helps more than you think. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss when we uncover the next major play in this global game. Alright, let's dig in. At first glance, the meetings in Istanbul looked promising. Representatives from Russia, Ukraine, and other global observers arrived with guarded optimism. The world hoped for breakthroughs. The headlines speculated about ceasefires. But if you listen closely, if you really watched, you'd see something else entirely. Putin didn't send his top brass, he sent a low-level delegation to meet with Ukraine's defense minister. Why? Simple, to slow things down. This wasn't a negotiation. This was a stalling tactic. A masterclass in geopolitical misdirection. And why does Putin want time? Because he's preparing for a new wave on the Eastern Front, troop buildups that even US intelligence has now confirmed. Supplies are moving, reinforcements are coming. Putin isn't chasing peace, he's buying breathing room. His aim, not just victory, but leverage. Now let's talk about the man casting a long shadow over all of this, Donald Trump. Love him or hate him, his influence still sends tremors through global diplomacy. And here's what you need to understand. There's an unspoken connection between Trump and Putin. It's not just political, it's strategic. And that connection is reshaping the board. Think back. When Trump was in power, he shocked the world by taking a surprisingly calm approach to Iran, even when Israel was shouting warnings. Why? Not because he loves peace, not because he feared war, but because he understood balance. Iran, like it or not, is a strategic ally of Russia. And Trump, the businessman, knew if you bomb Iran, you rattle Putin. And rattling Putin means risking every deal, every alignment, every back-channel negotiation he might one day need. So Trump held back, not from fear, but from calculation. Now, in this new stage of the Ukraine conflict, Trump's shadow looms large again. Putin, it seems, is playing for a very specific outcome. He wants to drag out the current process, keep the European voices muffled, and wait for a chance to sit across the table from Trump, alone. No mediators, no Brussels noise, just two men playing empire. And Trump, he's already signaling. While speaking in Abu Dhabi, he made it clear, if Putin goes there, I'll go too. We'll talk in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's not diplomacy. That's deal-making. That's the language of power, stripped of protocol. But Putin doesn't want quick deals. He wants position. He wants to show up to that 5-minute conversation as the man who marched to Kyiv's doorstep, who redrew the map before the first handshake. And that, my friends, is the real reason he's stalling. So what happens next? Let's be clear, Putin isn't waiting for peace. He's preparing for Phase 2. The Eastern Front is being fortified. The city of Sumy is likely to be a launch pad. Kyiv may once again find itself in the crosshairs. And yet the world watches and waits. France is furious, openly threatening Russia with even harsher sanctions for rejecting a ceasefire. And the Russian media? They've practically declared war on Paris, short of the actual words. Meanwhile, the United States plays a dangerous dual strategy. President Biden's administration has extended an olive branch to Trump, hoping he'll play ball if the time comes. But if Trump ignores the carrot, then comes the economic stick. A sanctions package so brutal, some are calling it the bone crusher list. No tanks, no bombs. Just economic suffocation, deployed in layers, targeting everyone and everything connected to Putin's machine. And Trump? If he's anything, he's a master of financial pressure. If it escalates, expect him to respond in kind, using markets, currency, and corporate power as weapons. That's the battleground we're heading toward. So here we are, 2 months. That's the rough window experts are now watching. In the next 8 weeks, we could see a Russian offensive that redefines the Eastern Front, a sudden Trump-Putin summit, reshaping everything, or a massive economic clash that triggers global consequences. It's an uncertain, dangerous crossroads, and Istanbul was just the beginning. This is no longer just about Ukraine. It's about the future of diplomacy itself, about how leaders will bend or break the rules of engagement, and about how cities like Istanbul become chessboards for games far bigger than themselves. If you found this analysis thought-provoking, smash that like button. It helps the algorithm know this is content worth sharing. Drop a comment below. Will Trump's return tilt the board? Is Putin playing a losing hand, or the long game? And can diplomacy survive when the players treat it like war? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because what's coming next is bigger than you think. Stay sharp, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.